Welcome to Epstein, Becker, Green's Employment Law This Week podcast. I'm George Whipple. New leadership at the DOL. Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer was sworn in last Tuesday after receiving bipartisan support from the Senate. Secretary Chavez-DeRemer is a former congresswoman with a strong backing from organized labor, generally viewed as a centrist figure. Although she co-sponsored the PRO Act while in Congress, she clarified during her confirmation that she did not believe it was a perfect bill, but felt it was important to work towards solutions to problems facing working Americans. Now that Secretary Chavez-DeRemer has been confirmed, we'll be watching for early indications of enforcement and rulemaking priorities. The NLRB gains a quorum for now. President Trump made waves when he fired NLRB member Gwynne Wilcox shortly after taking office. But on March 6th, a federal judge in D.C. held that Wilcox was illegally fired and instructed the chair to restore Wilcox's access to the board and allow her to serve out the remainder of her 5-year term. Wilcox's reinstatement restores a statutory quorum, which means the NLRB can once again proceed with issuing rules and hearing cases. The Trump administration has appealed the decision and filed for an administrative stay, arguing that statutory limitations on the removal of board members are inconsistent with the vesting clause of the Constitution. This is a developing story that could have large implications for the question of presidential authority over independent agencies. We now turn to the EEOC, where many had anticipated a reduction in enforcement under the new administration. But a series of announcements indicate that the agency is instead shifting its priorities and stepping up investigations in new areas. On January 28th, Acting Chair Andrea Lucas identified defending the biological and binary reality of sex and related rights as a key enforcement policy. She also stated that she intends to revisit the Commission's final rule enforcing the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, which was a key priority for the previous administration. Other announcements from the acting chair have indicated a focus on anti-American bias and, most recently, protecting workers from antisemitism, particularly at college and university workplaces. And that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
This podcast is presented by Epstein, Becker, and Green, PC. All rights are reserved. This audio recording includes information about legal issues and legal developments. Such materials are for informational purposes only and may not reflect the most current legal developments. These informational materials are not intended and should not be taken as legal advice on any particular set of facts or circumstances, and these materials are not a substitute for the advice of competent counsel. The content reflects the personal views and opinions of the participants. No attorney-client relationship has been created by this audio recording. This audio recording may be considered attorney advertising in some jurisdictions under the applicable law and ethical rules. The determination of the need for legal services and the choice of a lawyer are extremely important decisions and should not be based solely upon advertisements or self-proclaimed expertise. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.